There once was a tiny star that fell from the sky. She was very sad because she was lost and alone. She had been part of a shooting star cluster for thousands of years. Her and all of her siblings would zoom around the Earth together, and they loved it. They loved flying in a group, sparkling for the humans down below and listening to them tell stories about the stars. They listened to how they told tales of courage and hope, and dreamers who looked up at them and wished upon them. The shooting stars loved that. It made them happy to know that they brought joy to those tiny little humans. But one day, while they were zooming around the world, a young human decided to try and catch a shooting star. This particular shooting star, we'll call her Luna, tried to warn the others, but she was too late. The human girl jumped into the air and grabbed onto one of her siblings. Luna watched in horror as the girl held on tight to her sibling, pulling him away from the group. And then just like that, he disappeared behind the clouds. Luna felt so helpless. She wanted to go after him, but she didn't want to get caught herself. So she hid behind the moon and waited until the coast was clear. Then she flew as fast as she could to catch up with her brother. The girl hadn't gone far. She was sitting on a hill crying because she could unkeep her grip on the star and he slipped out of her fingers and flew away. Luna landed beside her and asked, "Are you okay?" The girl jumped and then started to cry even harder when she realized what Luna was. She said, "I'm sorry, little star. I didn't mean to hurt you or your family. I just wanted to hold on to a shooting star and make a wish." Luna understood. She knew that humans had a tendency to wish upon them, and sometimes that meant taking something that was you and theirs, but she also knew that wishes could come true. Maybe her brother wouldn't mind if she made a wish to get him back. So she closed her eyes and whispered, "I wish I could bring my brother back to his family." But when she opened her eyes, she realized that nothing had happened. She was still there, and her brother was still out there somewhere. And now she was even more upset. She flew around the girl in circles, making her dizzy, hoping that the magic of the shooting star would make her forget about the incident and go to sleep. But the girl only became more scared. She ran away from Luna, who ended up crashing into a tree and knocking herself out. When she woke up, she heard the girl talking to someone else. She peeked out from behind the tree and saw the girl telling her mother about the magical shooting star that had saved her from hurting herself. The girl had even brought her along as proof, but Luna was hiding behind the tree. When the mother didn't believe her, the girl started to cry, which made Luna feel terrible. She wanted to explain that she wasn't a magical shooting star. But before she could do anything, she heard the most beautiful voice say, "It's all right, my child. You have found a shooting star, and she has brought you here to me." Luna gasped when she turned around and saw a woman standing behind her. She had bright blonde hair, a beautiful white dress, and wings made of moonlight. Luna had never seen anyone so dazzling before. "Who are you?" Luna asked, but the woman only smiled and said, "I am the guardian of dreams. Come with me, little star. I will return you to your family." Before Luna knew what was happening, the woman scooped her up and started to fly away. She was so surprised that she didn't even scream as they soared through the clouds. They flew past the moon, which was bigger than anything she had ever seen it before, and entered the most beautiful place that Luna could imagine. There were white, puffy clouds everywhere. Soft music filled the air, and friendly faces greeted them as they arrived. "Welcome to Dreamland," the woman said. "You may stay here until you find your way home." Luna thanked her, and then started looking for her family. She called out for them, but no one answered. So she wandered around the park, hoping to see a familiar face. She walked past a group of rainbow unicorns playing in a field of flowers, a bunch of gnomes having a picnic under a giant mushroom, and even a friendly dragon napping in a cave. But she still couldn't find her family. Just when she was about to give up hope, she saw a shooting star streaking across the sky. She flew after it, and found her entire family gathered together on a hilltop. They were all so happy to see her. And Luna felt like she finally belonged again. But as soon as she got close enough to speak to them, she remembered that she wasn't supposed to be here. She had promised the woman who saved her that she would find her way home. So she explained everything to her family, and they agreed to help her. "We can send our light back to Earth. That should help you find your way home," her sister said. So each of her siblings flew towards the Earth, sending their light down to guide her. The moment they reached the surface, though, their light started to fade. "What's happening?" Luna cried out. But her family had already disappeared. Luna was all alone once again. She had two choices: stay in Dreamland forever, or try to find her way home by herself. Staying in Dreamland sounded nice, but Luna knew that her family missed her, and she wanted to see them again. Plus, she wanted to apologize to the girl for leaving without saying goodbye. So she took a deep breath, closed her eyes, and let her instincts take over. She flew past mountains and oceans, over deserts and forests, until she saw the hill where she had met the girl. She landed next to a tree and waited, hoping that she would come back. Not long after, the girl appeared. She had tears in her eyes, and a bouquet of wildflowers in her hands. "I'm sorry for trying to capture you," she whispered. "I just wanted to make a wish." Luna smiled and said, "It's all right. I understand. But you don't need a shooting star to make your wishes come true. All you need is a little imagination." And then Luna did something that surprised her. She took the flowers from the girl's hands and used her magic to make them sparkle. The girl gasped in amazement when she saw the glowing flowers. "Wow," she whispered. "They're beautiful." Luna beamed at her and said, "You can have them. Just remember that you don't need magic to make your wishes come true." The girl hugged her. "Thank you, Luna." And from that day on, they became the best of friends. Every night the girl would look up at the sky and search for the tiny star that fell from the heavens and brought her a bouquet of everlasting flowers. The end.